No matter what you do in sport or what you do in anything, I think you've got to have a certain amount of arrogance, self-belief or whatever. I remember looking at the list of competitors that I was going to race against that weekend, and I didn't used to think, I wonder who I'm going to beat. I used to think, I wonder how much I'll be on pole by. Now that is self-belief. I first started racing on a speedway bike. I raced speedway, and that came by chance. And it basically was from a guy in Ashford where we used to live, in the ABC stores. He saw me with a grass track bike on the back of the car and he said, have a go at speedway. And I thought, that's very dangerous, I don't want to do that. But I thought about it, not for long, and I went in there the following week and I said, is that offer still on? And he said, yeah. And he bought me a speedway bike. I won the second race. I continued racing speedway until I had a really bad accident to my right leg. I nearly lost the leg, and I ended up in plaster from the tip of my toe to my groin, and I was in plaster for 2 years. I thought, what am I going to do now? Well, in the local newspapers and stuff like that, there was do the initial trial at Brands Hatch in a car, which I did, and that really was the start of my motor racing career. People were saying to me, you want to do Formula Ford, the best racing you'll ever get, and it's the best racing you'll still get ever. And I decided to go down that route. I found a good sponsor in Brian Varney, and I did extremely well. I raced against all the greats, Damon Hill, Johnny Herbert, Eddie Irvine, all those, raced and beaten them. If I look through my portfolios, every picture reminds me of a race. It's just such a wonderful thing, and I just thoroughly enjoy the buzz, the elation. It's a great feeling to race. In the end, I felt that I had to call it a day, reluctantly. It wasn't because I'd given up any, the passion was still there, everything was still there, but I knew I couldn't raise the funding to go motor racing. So that was, we're talking 20 odd years ago, you know, but there's not a week goes by when I don't want to get in a racing car. Noel is a guy that I met many years ago. I met him on the A14 in the Little Chef. I had my Honda CRX on the trailer, just come back from Donington. I actually won that race. Then he come over, oh hello, Rick Shortall, because that's Noel, he knows everybody. And we got talking, and we got to know each other very, very well. And he's worked for me over the years as a manager of my kart circuits. Sadly, 5 years ago, I remember him calling me and wanted to chat, and he explained the fact that he'd been diagnosed with MS, which was very sad. I mean, when we all know that MS is an awful thing to have.
One day I was going into work to Rockingham, and I was going in as a passenger with another friend of mine. And there was a taxi driver, he's having an argument with his fare and decided to do an emergency stop at 60 miles an hour on an A road. And we piled in the back of him, still doing about 30 miles an hour. Wrote both the cars off. I ended up, as it happens, broken ribs, didn't know at the time, but broken ribs, smashed all my leg. And they think that actually, because of the trauma, that actually started the MS and started accelerating the MS off. They then sent me off for a scan. They confirmed it was MS, but they also said we found what they call a lesion on my back. And that basically is a tumour in your spinal cord. But there I was, paralysed from the waist down. Nothing worked from the waist down. And slowly over a period of time, over a couple of weeks, they It started to get me moving my feet and things a little bit, but there was still no way I could walk or anything. And in the 5th week, I decided I was going to start doing it myself. So I got out of bed when I was told I shouldn't have done and things, and I used to get into my wheelchair and just toodle off and slowly taught myself to walk again as much as I can walk now. There's sort of 3 or 4 different types of MS. I've got secondary progressive, which means basically I'm going downhill all the time. So I just got on with life, and I think it affects my wife more than me really, because I'm just dealing with it. Karen has to deal with all the flack that comes with it, you know. Yeah. Motorsport for MS was born at about 2 o'clock on New Year's morning last year, and it came from 3/4 of the way through a box of red wine. I'd got a mobility scooter and I thought, well, let's come up with an idea of going round the race circuits on a mobility scooter. We don't want to set lap records, we just want to set an official time.
He was going to get in touch with all the race circuits, Silverstone, Donington, Brands Hatch, Thrapston, and get permission for them to allow him to bring his motorised scooter along, and during the lunch break not do a lap record but do a recorded lap time around the circuit, which will be registered for all time. And at the same time he would then be able to go around with his bucket and pick up some money. Noel's a fighter, he won't give up. He needed to do something, and his life now is raising money for MS. I said, how about me coming on board and joining forces, and why don't we team up and raise money together by me coming back racing. And he thought it was a great idea, because Noel can come along, he can set up in the team's area, he can talk to people about the awareness of MS, about himself, he can raise funds, you know, and it'd be a great thing to do. And I'm sure that once we get underway, it's going to be really good. The sort of stuff he's been through, the operations he's on his spine and everything like this, well, that costs money, it costs thousands of pounds, so the charity needs more money, and that's what we want. We want more money to actually find out more about this crippling disease. And unfortunately it is too late for Noel. Noel's doing a wonderful thing like a lot of other fundraisers do, and it's not until you're involved directly with someone that's got a problem, whether it's MS or cancer or whatever, and they want to do something for their charity, you suddenly realise how important this is.